One of the biggest issues that's happening in 2024 is that we're just too busy. We don't have time. We have too much going on. We have too much that we're battling. And not only do we have don't have enough time for ourselves, we also don't have time for God. And the Lord is fighting for your attention. He really needs to get your attention. But all you're trying to do is squeeze him in or do a drive-by. So I want to share with you the importance of giving God your attention and how to give God your attention. Because your direction in life, your success in life, your getting to heaven depends on you giving God your full attention. So let's talk. While I have your ear, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this channel if you want challenging and practical Christian content that's going to push you to your next level. This is your page. So please make sure you like, share, and subscribe this channel in your group chats, wherever you go. So we're going through a lot. We got a lot on our plate. We have ministry, we have families, we have school, we have to work out, we have social media, we have so much going on. And many of us are just overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about you, and you can answer me in the comments. How many of us feel overwhelmed? Like, I just got too much going on that I don't have time to breathe. I don't have time for myself. And what naturally happens to us when we get to that place, we tend to neglect ourselves. We tend to make sure everyone else is okay except us. A majority of us, our problem is everybody is a priority except for ourselves. And what does that look like? We don't rest. And secondly, we don't make time for God. We neglect our prayer life. We neglect our devotional time. We simply don't have time for God. And what happens is that God is here, wants to communicate, wants to go into a relationship with you, but you don't have time. You don't speak to God, right? How would a relationship be healthy if you speak to somebody once a week? And some of us, the only time we open our Bibles or we talk to God or pray is when we're in church every Sunday. All other days, we don't have time. And God is clearly trying to fight for our attention. God is so interested in falling in a relationship with us. God is so interested in being at a place where he loves us and he's able to do as such and talk to us and commune with us. And he's literally screaming and fighting for our attention. But we're just too busy for God. We have too much going on. Have so many competing priorities, and I'm here to tell you that God is fighting for your attention. That you have a God that is so crazy about you that he gave his only begotten son. You have a God that's so crazy about you that he misses us. He misses our devotional time. He missed the moment of intimacy and worship that we used to have. So we have to understand the value and the importance of creating time with God. We cannot box God out. We cannot continue where God's no longer a priority, because what happens is when God is no longer a priority, you slowly die. You're slowly at a place where spiritually you're dying, or spiritually you're malnourished because you are not in God. We have to make him a priority. So I want to use this time to share a couple of steps, what I've used in my life to help get back in alignment and give God more of my time. Because this is something that I have gone through, being a pastor, being a dad, being a husband, a full-time pastor, a full-time husband, a full-time dad, and I work 40 hours a week. So I've had to battle that. I've had to recalibrate my life and to be like, hey, listen, God needs to be a priority, because something don't feel right. I feel off. Like I haven't prayed in a couple of days. I sat down and really read my word. I started trying to find a word to preach on Sunday. I haven't sat there and I haven't had time. And when I open my Bible in the evening to read my word, I fall asleep. Right? Who's that? Or when I get up in the morning and I want to sit here and read the word, as I'm going to start my day with the word, then I'll go into my phone. When I go into my phone, I see these notifications, I see these missed texts, I see this email, I see these tweets, and I end up sitting here, oh my God, I'm late. And naturally what gets neglected, what gets put to the side are the things of God. So I want to encourage you. I want to push you. I want to remind you the value and the importance of God and making God a priority. So that's the first step. We have to make him a priority. Not only we have to make God a priority, everyone around us should know he's a priority. They may call you a holy roller. They may stop calling you after a while to go out and do certain things. But we have to make sure that not only within us, but then naturally those around us are aware of the fact that God's a priority to us. And no, after a certain time, I can't call him because I know he's praying. I know he's in devotional time. When I gotta leave him alone, I can't call him to do this. I can't call her to do that because I know she's busy with God. So we have to make God a priority. The very first thing that you think about, the very first thing that you put into your jar, the very first thing that you put into your life and put into your day is spending time with God. You cannot allow yourself to neglect. We cannot allow ourselves to put our jobs and our school and everything, ministry and all that above God. Because how could you minister if you don't spend time in private? What are you sharing with the people of God? What are you preaching about if privately you don't seek the Lord? What are you posting on social media if privately you're not seeking his face? So I think it's important for us to make it a priority. The same way we make it a priority to close our rings every day, make it a priority to go to the gym, make it a priority to speak to our boo, make it a priority to speak to God. Because as much as you talk about you have no time, you still have time for the gym. You still have time to hang out. You still have time to party. You still have time to be on social media. You still have time to do everything. But God is often the one neglected. We often neglect ourselves and we don't have time for God. So it's important for us to make him a priority. Secondly, be intentional. Spending time with God will not be organic. It won't happen easily because A, again, we're busy and have so much going on. B, we have an enemy that does not want us to spend time with God. So he'll keep distracting us. He'll keep putting things on our plate to prevent us from being able to spend time with God. So in essence, we have to realize that if we are to be successful, if we are to be at a place where we're going to manage this better, we have to be intentional. That means calendar invites. Put God on a calendar. Put like 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. God. That's your time with God. Put alarms on your phone. Hey, turn off Instagram. Read your Bible. We have to be that organic, or even have an accountability partner. Say, me and you are going to do this together. We're going to read the Bible together. You're going to make sure I go into my word. You're going to make sure that I'm here constantly praying. It's important to have an accountability partner. It's important to find someone, to have someone in our lives that we can trust, so that he and she will keep me accountable in love. So I think it's crucial for us to be intentional by A, calendar invites, by B, sending alarms, and C, an accountability partner. This is not going to happen easily because, again, there's a lot of competing priorities. Those of us who have neglected God and neglected ourselves, we're not doing it on purpose. It's just that we're overwhelmed. We have so much going on that God has been put on the back burner. It's easier to put God on the back burner because you need to go to work every day or you won't get paid. You need to go to the gym or you start gaining weight. But God is something that we have an easier time to forget and to neglect. But I want to explain to you that if you do that, you won't have any success in life. You won't have any victories in life without God. You may have good, but you won't see great. So I want you to understand it's crucial for you to sit here and make time for God, because God is fighting for your attention. He is like a baby, my 2-year-old daughter. When I come into the house, she sits there and she's all up under me. She's all up under all up on my lap and say, "Daddy, look. Hey, Daddy, I went to the potty. Hey, Daddy, I ate all my food." And she just wants that attention. That's God. I'm not calling God a baby, but I'm also showing that God just wants your attention. God misses you. It's been so long. But now it's time for you to come back. Now it's important to develop a plan to come back, because you don't want to miss out on God. You don't want to lose God. And while God while you have ears to hear and seek the Lord. I pray this challenges you and blesses you and encourages you. And it makes you feel great to know that the God of the universe, is so crazy about you that he finds this opportunity to remind you or inform you that he wants your attention. He could have anybody in the world, but he chooses you. So please make sure you share this with 5 people. 5 people in your prayer team. Share it with your church group chat. Share it to your homeboy. Share it to your homegirl. To remind them that they serve a God that's crazy about them, and that who sits here and wants their attention. Again, I pray this blesses you. Thank you for listening. God bless you.